Good afternoon, Namaskar. Am I audible? If somebody can confirm from the
Yes, please.
participants.
Yes, you are
Yes,
audible, sir.
Thank you.
You are audible.
Yes, sir,
Thank
you're
you,
very
thank
much
you very
audible.
much.
Yeah, we can hear
Thank
you
you
loud
very
and clear.
much. So we are going to start this session. I am Dr. H.P. Kumar, former chairman of National Small Industries Corporation, who will be moderating this session. And I welcome you all, those who have attended online, as well as the distinguished panel who is available with me here. In fact, we have a very important issue to discuss and deliberate and find solutions and make our suggestions. This is basically in respect of providing professional support, as the Honorable Prime Minister also mentioned, the Secretary also mentioned, in addition to the liquidity support and equity support. So professional support also becomes very important to the micro, small and medium enterprises. You might be aware that the budget of 2026 had made a very important announcement to this effect, to provide, this kind of professional support. I can read out for your benefit the budget announcement relating to this. It said government will facilitate professional institutions such as Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of India, Institute of Company Secretaries of India, to design short-term modular courses and practical tools to develop a cadre of corporate Mitras, especially in Tier 2 and Tier 2 and Tier 3 towns. These accredited para-professionals will help MSMEs meet compliance requirements at affordable costs. So this is the announcement, in fact, made in the budget. And we basically this panel discussion is going to discuss as to how this announcement can be transformed and implemented on the ground. So I have a very expert panel of experts here. Let me introduce them who will be assisting us in these deliberations. Shri G.K. Singh, who is the Director General of Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs. Shri Prasanna Kumar, who is the President of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Ms. Mamta Benani ji, former President, Institute of Company Secretaries of India. Shri M.K. Anand, Central Council Member and Chairman, PD, ICMAI. Shri D.P. Goyal, Co-Chairman, MSME Committee, PhD, Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Ms. Kanchan Zuchi, Director, PhD, Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We have two panel experts who have joined us online also. Shri Avinash Sharma, who is the Director of SOCHM, and Dr. Nand Kumar Kalat, who is the Chairman, Finance Core Group, CII, National MSME Council. We have other distinguished participants, a lot of participants who have expertise in this area. They have also joined, and some of them whom I can see, I will just name them for the benefit of others. Shri Naveen Sirohi, Head and Director in Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs. Shri Neeraj Gupta, Associate Professor. Shri Mangesh Pandurang Kinare, Vice President, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Shri S.K. Gupta, CMA, MD, Registered Valuer Organization. Dr. Garima Das, Associate Professor and Head in Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs. Mr. Devarun Kalita, Officer on Special Duty, Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, MCS Shillong. Shri Sudhakar Shukla, Post Director, Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs. We have a lot of other participants and experts and people from professional organizations who can really assist us in these deliberations and suggest as to what should be the model and what should be the nitty-gritties of this professional support through the corporate Mitras. Let me give you a brief about the issue that is in hand. In fact, as we all know that micro, small and medium enterprise sector is a very robust sector in this country. India's MSME sector is a role model. In fact, in the whole developing world. I remember we have MOUs with a lot of countries. I remember 37 countries. In fact, I had signed MOUs um, for providing support services in terms of for the sake of development of MSME sector in their country. Because MSME sector being in India as it contributes substantially to the global to the economy, almost 31%, and providing employment to 34 crore people, as it was mentioned earlier by the additional secretary and DC. So it's a very big sector. And especially, tier 2 and tier 3 cities and small towns and rural areas, it becomes all the more relevant that we promote and assist this sector uh, for their growth, and also, bringing more and more employment opportunities. Because this is the sector which is the largest employer next to only agriculture. So, while, and of course, exports. As the Honorable Prime Minister also mentioned, that MSME sector can really play a very big role in expanding, not only the GDP of the country in terms of economic contribution, but also in exports. So we have to support the MSME sector in terms of providing professional support services also. Besides, of course, the liquidity, that also becomes very important, the liquidity, equity, and other financial, inputs, marketing support services. But at the same time, the information, knowledge, hand-holding, and guidance, that also becomes very important. And you will appreciate that micro sector particularly, which is almost comprising of 98% of the MSMEs, uh, does not have that much capacity or affordability. In fact, to go for a very highly paid or professional experts, so that they can comply with all the compliances, they can complete their documentation, they can really prepare the projections for raising capital or for even working capital management, their financial management, cost management, and of course a plethora of other issues, management related issues. For example, even labor codes which have been introduced recently, environment related laws which are to be complied with by the MSMEs. So these are various issues, in fact, a lot of challenges which MSMEs keep facing, and they lack this expertise and knowledge. Let me also highlight that there are various support services being provided by the government of India, Ministry of MSME, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Ministry of Textiles, Ministry of Finance, and other ministries. Also, there are various support services and schemes being implemented by the state governments, respective state governments. So, knowledge about these schemes and how to avail the benefits of these schemes is also a challenge for the MSMEs. They don't know, in fact, how to go about. In fact, even a higher level micro enterprise also, I can't say about small and medium. They have, as per the current definition, they are the upper layers in the MSME sector. But as far as micro is concerned, which is 98%, if you ask, a lot of them will not even know as to which are the schemes which they can avail. It is because of lack of information, lack of knowledge, or inadequate knowledge, and inadequate capacity, in fact, to go for availing these services, to prepare themselves, in fact, for availing these services. That also becomes very important. Preparation. How do they prepare? Because they don't have the knowledge to even prepare the financial projections or even their proposals. So these are the challenges which MSMEs really face. So this is a very important initiative taken in the budget, providing professional services through corporate Mitras. Now, this in fact role to develop these model of training to prepare the corporate Mitras uh, has been assigned to the three professional institutes. the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, the Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of India, and Institute of Company Secretaries of India. Fortunately, we have the President of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, the former President of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, the former President of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. So, and of course, the head of Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, who is really a very key stakeholder in development of this model. So, with this, uh, context, we will have deliberations. I will start the deliberations by requesting our distinguished panel, one by one, in fact, to give their views. Initially, overall perspective about this scheme and how should we go about. And then, of course, we can keep talking on the second round about specific issues which need to be addressed to formulate this scheme. Basically, what we have to do is basically to formulate the scheme, which is practically implementable and does not, does not override or create any issues with the people in professional services already there, in the professionals which are available from these professional institutes. So overlapping should not be there, and uh, the contents and the program should be such that people at the general level should be able to understand. And I mean, all these terms as to what should be the eligibility, what should be the fee structure, what should be the period of training, what should be the course contents, and all that certification. All these issues can be deliberated, and our suggestions can be formed up. This will be, as I understand, you will appreciate that this is an evolving scheme. So it is not that we can finalize everything today itself. Basically, we will have brainstorming, come out with our suggestions, make a small presentation at the end, and then give it to the government. Of course, the refinements may take place depending upon discussions with the other stakeholders and possibilities as to within the given, rules and regulations. So let me start with our panel of experts to begin with. If I can come to Shri Gyaneshwar Kumar Singh ji, GK Singh sir. So, the Director General of Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, your overall perspective and what is the background of this, because you have been involved in this, and how do we go about in framing this?
Thank you, Dr. Kumar, for giving a brief introduction about this corporate Mitra and overall role of MSME in the Indian economy. I will take 2 minutes before come to the corporate Mitra. We have to appreciate role of MSME. So MSME, Honorable Prime Minister has rightly said that this is the growth engine. This is the backbone of the Indian economy. And as for the economic survey, GDP contribution of MSME is around 31%. Manufacturing, their share is around 35%. And exports also around is 45%. Employment, this is the biggest after agriculture, 32 crore. And total number is around 7.47 crores. This figure keeps on changing. If you check right now with Ministry of MSME dashboard, it has increased to 7.7. So this is the growth engine. But in growth engine, there are challenges also. As you know that this data is important, then I will come to the corporate Mitra. This is dominated by the micro enterprises. So out of 7.8 is the figure, 7.8 crores is the recent figure. Around 99.32% is micro. And if you see the figure, 7.7 crore is the micro. Then we have the small, it is 0.6%, and in the absolute figure, it is 4.9 lakhs. And the medium one is 0.05%. And absolute figure is around 36,000. So we call it missing of the middle. So the middle is missing. So mostly it is dominated by whole ecosystem of MSMEs by micro. And the micro, they are the family-owned partnership, they are informal sector. One of the speakers was saying the cost of capital is so much. They don't have the access to formal, majority of them. So this is the ecosystem. In this ecosystem, we had a chance to interact. We had Netfi CMD also. He was talking about in Northeast. And North is similar to other tier 2, tier 3 cities where we have very limited number of professionals. Most of the professionals are in the state capital. And MSMEs, when we deal with the micro, they don't know how to make their financial statement. They don't know about the government scheme. Dr. Kumar has talked about if you interact with many of the micro, there are so much benefits available. And the government of India, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, has taken consistent efforts to give support to micro enterprises and small enterprises. Right now, we have a classification of MSME. It is a plant and machinery and turnover. We have paid up capital and turnover as per Companies Act for small company, but there is a convergence. If you include micro and a small, it comes near the Companies Act recent amendment, which was done in the December 2025. So according to that, if you see how the government has been proactive in giving relief to the small companies in 2000 in April 2014, our turnover was 2 crores for a small companies. Right now it is 100 crores. So in 10 years, 50 times turnover. And why it is important? Our stakeholders should know that if you are a small companies declared, then you have a lot of concession. Two board meetings, auditors rotation is not required, cost cash flow is not required, and then lesser penalties, and then either the company secretary or director can sign the annual. So much what people are not aware. If you see the landscape of the around 18 lakhs, we have small companies. Out of 18 lakhs, around 88% is the small company. So this is the background. Now we are coming why corporate Mitra is required. So tier 2, tier 3 cities, they are struggling to first understand the government system, the government scheme. There is another requirement also, the challenges of MSMEs, where we face challenges of MSME in terms of information asymmetry. There are some studies by Niti Aayog, SHM, and other business chamber. They come up with a report. They have flagged 3 challenges. One is access to finance, the regulatory challenges, and third one is the registrations and approval. So in regulatory finance, regulatory compliance, we have issues of labor laws, we have the issues of environmental laws, we have the issues of Companies Act. The filing also is extremely important. Then we have other taxation, direct or indirect taxation. So MSME, they have most of the MSME, if you see their database, around 97% of the MSMEs, their investment is less than 50 lakhs. And around 88% of MSMEs, their turnover is 1 crore or less than 1 crore. They are not in a position to employ full-time. First is professional is not available, and they are not in a position to employ them. So what is the solution? The solution is what Government of India has started through the budget. Honorable Finance Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, it is going to be game changer for the growth of our economy. Formalization of economy will start from here. And MSME, once they start documenting, then they will be encouraged to go for the incorporation. Incorporation makes the cost of capital, cost of financing is less. And after incorporation, they will be encouraged to go for the listing, explore a new source of financing. You will be surprised to know, as of now, out of companies, those who are unincorporated, 1 in the 40 is active company. And if you link it with active company and listed company, out of 243, there are active companies, then we have 1 listed company. So this figure, and if you go for listing, total MSME listing is around 1400. And this figure, if we have to become the growth engine, and Honorable Prime Minister has talked about exports, then we have to think of formalizing the economy. And here the corporate Mitra is going to play an important role. They are the practical, hands-on person. They are available there, and they will help if they are coming to the corporate structure. Ease of doing business is very important. They are there to as a next door advisor, support structure, hands-on person who will work as a bridge with three professional institute, and they will work as a bridge with the our MSME persons. So they will try to handle day-to-day operational challenges. So this whole, as Dr. Kumar has asked, how it has emerged this concept, we realize that this is a missing gap. And the missing gap will help formalization from micro to a small to medium, medium to large, unincorporated to become incorporated, incorporated to go further. Let's say this is whole ecosystem will develop, and we will have what Honorable Prime Minister has given as the task. While we are discussing the whole MSME, we should not lose of efficiency and productivity. That will also, because right now they are not in a position to exploit or to leverage the government schemes, even the corporate structure. So I think this is the right time, and all three professional institute, this is my interaction. They are so generous. The moment the idea is started, and they have come out, they have started making syllabus, they are excited how to handhold of them. And this is the role of three professional institute in nation building for the Viksit Bharat. So on behalf of Ministry of Corporate Affairs, we are excited to take this agenda forward, and we are very hopeful very soon this will be launched after the budget is passed.
You
Thank you, Mr. Singh. Thank you very much. I think you have set the tone of the deliberations. The issues that, of course, you mentioned are very important as far as the MSMEs are concerned. Looking at the whole ecosystem of MSMEs, we need to have a robust professional mechanism for helping them, in fact, particularly in the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. I forgot to mention Mr. Santanu Mitraji, who is also available amongst us. In fact, he is the anchor and he is the engine, in fact, for organizing this program. And without him, I don't think that we would have done it so orderly. And thank you very much, Mitraji. He is here to guide us, in fact, about holding of the event. He is the senior economic advisor in the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, but with a tremendous experience. He has been additional development commissioner in the MSME. So who better than he knows about the MSME ecosystem.
He brings convergence.
Yeah, he brings convergence. And not only, MSME, before that, Planning Commission and Ministry of Finance. So thank you very much for being part of this. I leave it to you whether you would like to contribute in this, say some words on this. Please do that.
No, I'm here as a listener. I'm the nodal officer from the ministry, but I am here as a listener. I'll be listening to all the knowledgeable persons and think tanks, whatever they say, and I'll convey the essence beyond the presentation, etc. I'll convey the essence of this discussion to the ministry, to my secretary, and to honorable ministers. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mitra Saab. Let me come to now the Honorable Prasanna Kumarji, who is the President of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India.
Yeah.
So, please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Respected Dr. H.P. Kumarji, the convener and organizer for this entire event, presiding officer for us, and all the officials, all the participants today. So good afternoon to all of you. The tone has been rightly set by G.K. Singh. I know him, Gyaneshwar Singh. So today I know he's popular known as G.K. Singh. So very nicely explained. Particularly when you talk about MSME, we always say micro, small, medium are equal partners. Today it has been made very clear by him. There's such excellent presentation made. Micro is the major thing over micro. They form 99%, 19 point some percentage. So they are very important for us. They are the people who need excellent support from either government of India, state governments, or stakeholders, or the professional institutes, everyone. So friends, so corporate Mitra the topic of today has been dealt with, initiated by the GKC ISCA. I think the brainchild is started from, Shillong, where they established the regional center there. So from there, it emanated some thought process that, tier 2, tier 3 cities and the micro enterprises probably across the country, they need some professional support. So how to bridge the gap there? So that's how it has been identified. So the actually these micro enterprises are the one which are most unorganized. And in Udyam portal, whatever registration is there, if you encourage formally, and the registration will double the registration what is there, because they are available everywhere, every nook and corner of the country, micro enterprises there. So Mr. G.K. Singh was talking from a different angle. I'll come from a different angle, for other side of the story. Think here there is a two-pronged theory. One is to see the needs of micro enterprises are met through this corporate mitra. The other side is about the graduates in this country. You see, today the education is so developed in this country, even in a small towns, not for tier 2, tier 3, the towns are also there. You have got degree colleges, we call them degree colleges, where BA, BSc, BBA, all those, BCom, those courses are being taught. The children from the rural area, they go and study there, they graduate themselves, not a problem. After 3 years, they graduate. The moment he graduates, he is the crossroads. What to do next? Should I go start my own business? Should I become an entrepreneur? Should I get employment? If I get into employment, where do you get employment? Am I employed to graduate? He has got so many doubts. He's a crossroads. That is where this particular scheme comes into play. The moment a graduate is graduated, there is some scheme here, Government of India scheme. There's something on corporate mitra. So you please join that course. So that other details will explain others how to join and all this. The entire group will deliberate. So the moment they join, they are aware that you can go and join some professional, be it a chartered accountant, cost accountant, or a company secretary. They get trained there, maybe 9 months, 1 year, as the case where it will be decided soon. Once they get trained, they know that what they are capable of doing. That means a fresh graduate, through this scheme, is made an employable graduate. He may be employed anywhere, or he can become a self-professional also. See, it's not that he should be employed only. He become a professional also, like to cater the needs of micro enterprises. So this is a very great scheme, great initiative of the Government of India. And I'm sure, like Mr. G.K. Singh said, the moment this has been launched, with all the 3 institutes have been infused. For reason that there's a scheme known as accounting technicians, which all the 3 institutes were started. It is very prevalent in the UK. Accounting technicians, those who qualify the stage 1 of all the 3 courses, they are probably known as accounting technicians. Different names are there. This is what we thought to cater the needs of this particular sector. But they're all employed in a different way. They're something beyond corporate mitras. So now the corporate mitra is the one, it is bridging the gap between the expert professional and the needy micro enterprises. Yeah, micro enterprises, majority of things can be done by this corporate mitra itself. Suppose he's not really capable of doing that. Like H.V. Kumarji was telling, they want to raise funds, they want to make a projection. So they want to incorporate a company. Probably they will not be able to do that. They are aware, they've got limitations, but they know where to get it done, how to get it done, at what price it can be done. That way, corporate mitra will play a very vital role here. So, after this training is over, with whatever knowledge he gets, he can be, I'm damn sure, almost everyone will get employment. It's a great initiative. Suppose he's knowledgeable enough to give the render the professional services, he'll become a professional himself. Self-employment, catering needs of all this. Suppose he feels when he undergoes a training with the professional institute, professional practitioners, he may get an idea. Why don't I start my own business? Why don't I become my own entrepreneur? And while undergoing this course, probably he undergoes the course, he may get an idea. Why don't I become a chartered accountant? Why don't I become a cost accountant? Why don't I become a company secretary? That way also, we are creating further expert professionals in this country. So these are some of the initial thoughts I thought I should share with you. And ultimately, the idea of Mr. G.K. Singh was telling, see, you have to get the professional services should be at the doorsteps of the micro enterprise, number 1. Number 2, it should be affordable price. Affordable. Both the things will be achieved with this is a great initiative. like Mr. G.K. Singh has already appreciated the efforts of institutes, we feel proud. We always say, all the 3 institutes will say, we are partners in national building. There's a great opportunity for us to showcase that we are real partners in national building. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prasanna Kumar ji. I think very, very important 2 points that I have noted. Of course, your deliberations are very exhaustive. The 2 issues, professional services at the doorsteps. So that becomes very important, in fact, theme of this corporate Mitras. And second thing is affordable. So affordability also is important because we are dealing with majority of the micro enterprises. So let me now come to Ms. Mamta Binani ji, who is the former president of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, for your opening thoughts on this.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Kumar sir.
You can take this.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Kumar sir. Thank you for having me here. Many thanks to the ministries. I'm very overwhelmed to meet Mr. G.K. Singh after a long time. I've worked with him. I know how intricately he delves into the subject. So it's again a pleasure to be in front of him. And thank you, Shantanu Mitra sir, for doing all of this for us. I'm very humbled to represent the Institute of Company Secretaries of India today, which is being led by CS Pawan Chandakji. And I also have my former president as an active participant there, Mr. Devendra Deshpande. I hail from East, sir, having my strong foothold and footprint in Northeastern regions also, which is known for its depth of thinking, culture, and conversations. Who doesn't know that East is so full of all of the 3 that I mentioned, thinking, culture, and conversations, and is therefore I'm able to bring reflection and thoughts to the execution machinery, which is sitting here today. And when reflection meets execution, meaningful progress has to happen. Millions of MSMEs are silently powering India's economy day in and day out. I want to bring 2-3 issues as my opening remarks, which I also and absolutely in sync with Mr. Prasanna Kumar, and I'm sure Mr. Anand, who is from the CMA Institute, will also, we're all together in this. So I have worked with MSMEs on the ground. I also had the MSME Development Forum of West Bengal and Northeast. So I have seen how they struggle even with the listening power. Because we sometimes think, हम एक बार उनको बता दिए हैं, so I'm sure they are now able to understand and they will have their machinery to execute it. But believe you me, even professionals like us sometimes need to read 4, 5, 7 times or need to understand the concept even 10 times to actually execute it. Because devil always lie in the details. So we expect from MSMEs, we have told them, so they will now understand and do it. It doesn't happen actually that way. So like a mother is needed for the child always to tell them, get up. We always put the alarm to make sure they get up. We give them good food. We do all of them. Only then the child grows. Similarly, MSMEs need actually proper handholding. And that handholding will only be done by a next door person. So therefore, this kind of handholding who tells them, oh, you know, this scheme is there. This is what has been written in the scheme. There you have to prepare a balance sheet. Oh, don't worry, I will prepare the balance sheet. I'll help you to prepare the balance sheet. Do you know you have to have a bill book? And if your turnover goes above this thing, you need to have an e-way bill, etc. So someone who actually guides them day in and day out in every moment. So therefore, corporate mitra is a concept which we are all hailing and supporting, not only supporting by lip service, but from our heart we are supporting, because when the nation grows, everybody grows, sir. So we are absolutely in sync with the concept. I want to also say that sometimes I have seen that government is saying in the schemes like CGTMSC, etc., that there are collateral free loans available, but banks are ardently asking people to keep FDs with the bank. And that FDs, you can't even break them. You have to keep them until and unless you are diluting the loans or dissolving the loan, your FDs has to be there. So somewhere or the other, we also have to teach and let the machinery know of the banks and the financial institutions that these schemes work this way and not that way. That may only happen from the corporate Mitras telling the MSMEs that, look, you should not have your FDs, etc. It is a completely collateral free scheme. So therefore, this kind of training will definitely help, sir. And as an opening remark, I want to also say that this is going to bring a lot of gray market to the mainstream market, which is the objective, also one of the major objective of the government. When everything starts coming to the mainstream, we will see that the GDP not only increases, which is a barometer of the growth, but also each individual will become Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. So thank you very much for having us here, sir. And as it is said that a doctor G.K. Singh साहब थोड़ी देर पहले बता ही रहे थे, मैं उनके शब्दों को रिवाइज और रिपीट कर रही हूँ कि एक डॉक्टर कंपाउंडर के बिना नहीं चल सकता, एक डॉक्टर नर्स के बिना नहीं चल सकता. उसी तरह ये कॉर्पोरेट मित्र सब प्रोफेशनल्स के लिए भी बहुत हद तक एक सार्थक हेल्पर असिस्टेंट के हिसाब से सामने आएगा.
Very well said. Very
Thank you,
well
sir.
said, Taji. In fact, very important issues that you raise, ki understanding of the micro, particularly the smallest of the small, is inadequate, or I would say poor, because they have to really understand as to how do they grow, micro to small. And for that, there are host of issues which need to be really told to them. It is not only with regard to compliances, but how to prepare their financial projections, how to make their financial statements, to present to the funding organizations like banks and financial institutions. How do they, environmental laws? Kal Mr. Singh was mentioning, bata rahe the, कि now new regulations are coming, and every small enterprise, micro enterprise is supposed to implement them, comply with them. उनको knowledge होगी तभी तो होगा. और फिर knowledge होने के बावजूद भी अगर capacity नहीं है उसको करने की, तो भी difficulty है. So somebody really, as rightly said, some like mother has to keep nudging the child. Some neighbor, some hand-holding support will really keep reminding them कि भाई ये करना है, आज ये तारीख है, इसकी ये पूरा करना है, ये compliance है, आपकी गलत हो रही है, इसको ठीक करना है, आपका ये वाटर डिस्चार्ज गलत हो रहा है, पोल्यूशन कर रहा है, इसको ठीक करना है. तो ये बड़े इंपॉर्टेंट इश्यूज हैं. देयर आर होस्ट ऑफ इश्यूज. बिजनेस में ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस के लिए हम लोग हमने सुना बजट में भी कि फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर मैडम ने भी कहा कि कितने 35,000 or 50,000 compliances have been removed. But even then, there are host of compliances which are still there. So naturally, it requires a complete understanding. And since micro enterprises are vulnerable, naturally, they need the attention.
One line I will say that both the speakers, President ICAI and Madam has talked about ex-President ICSI. That is the key point. Service at your doorstep, last mile, because we can't send our professional from the state capital. They are available, and trust factor also. They are the next door. And what you have said, that this is another big object which is right now unstated. Yeah. That once we start interacting and rolling out this program, because when I met Chief Secretary of Shillong, he was saying we have so many graduates, BCom, accountant, economics. So this will also create job opportunities, and they will also start knowing the whole ecosystem. They will start their own. So this will also give some kind of a support to entrepreneurship activity.
Absolutely.
It's a great effort.
Well said.
And somehow we should, at the cost of repeating, there is some misconception that how this is going to fit into the whole eco cycle of the professional. So as of now, I think for the first time, 3 professional institutes are born, because without the support of the para-professionals, you face so much of difficulty. Now you have a layer. This is new layer. This is a new profession. We are excited as a country to create a new profession. And this profession will be support to all of you. And for the cost accountant also, Honorable Prime Minister has said costing is very important. If you want to export, make it very competitive. So we are all excited. Just I wanted to summarize.
No, very well said. In fact, I was going to say the same thing, as you rightly mentioned, before coming to Mr. Anandji. Let me come to now Mr. Anand, who is the Central Council member and Chairman PD of ICMAI. Anand sir, thank you. Welcome. And the same thing as Mr. Singh mentioned, it is the Honorable Prime Minister who mentioned about the cost management. Costing of the products to make them globally competitive is a very, very important issue, because how do you go international? How do you, export your products and price your products if you are not aware about your efficiencies, where you are, having more wastages or maybe more cost as compared to other countries. So over to you. How do you see that this particularly corporate Mitra is going to help the micro, small, medium enterprises in cost management, cost control, pricing of the products? So what are the initial thoughts that you have?
Thank you very much, sir. All the learned analysts and speakers who have spoken for me. I am always very inspired by Singh Saab, Prasanna ji, and now Madam. I have been hearing her for the first time. Sir, these issues have been debated when we had a very long discussion under MCS. Mr. Mitra ji was there. He has been always guiding on these things.
Yes.
But as you have very correctly touched upon the issue, what is happening, sir? Financing is happening. As Singh Saab had mentioned, three those things basically: access to finance, regulatory compliances. He has very aptly described them into that, and he has given a very big X-ray of the things. And 95, we are dealing now with 99% of the people basically as of now, and we have to go near them basically. So somehow, sir, we are incidentally, Honorable Prime Minister, not today. Sir, if you remember when we landed on Moon, the first line he congratulated the scientists, and then second he said, we have built the rocket in 1/3 of the cost. So I don't know who gave him all those numbers. Yes. That was the second line, if you kindly look at it. Right. So somehow costing is another very important area, sir, which is perhaps overlooked, sir. Why overlooked, sir? That as of now, we are more worried about getting them finances. We are more worried about all other compliances parts, basically. But compliances parts, government is also looking into making them simplified and standardized. They are trying to simplify those compliances and then standardizing them. But what about the things, sir, which are happening when the person is actually manufacturing? That MSME person and very small players in this, sir, as has been very aptly displayed by Singh Saab's this presentation. So what we have been thinking, sir, that we should have also these corporate Mitras is a very unique concept, sir, and it is a totally saleable thing. So maybe some aggregators at that point of time, sir, wherever like in Mizoram and all other areas. So certain aggregators who are actually aggregating on behalf of all of these small MSMEs for getting some larger raw materials and then ultimately looking them back to their sellers, basically. We had earlier, sir, if you remember, we had these food parks into individual states, basically. So I, in my capacity in the central government at that time, had visited some of the parks. The Manipur area is very rich with pineapples and all those areas, and then ginger production. All these small states, all these northeastern states have some very unique areas with them. So somehow the corporate Mitra and the modules what we are now proposing to develop should also cater to the local areas capabilities. What type of MSMEs, or if we can really look into that what type of manufacturing is happening or what type of service providing is happening. And at the same time, sir, what value addition our corporate Mitra will be in position to give to these industries by looking into the areas of waste reduction, then on-time receipt and clearance of their goods, output clearances, and connecting with the buyer, efficiency and productivity, sir, all these areas. And then ultimately, As was mentioned by my senior and big brother, Prasanna Kumar sir, that CAT, what program we are doing, sir, Certified Accounting Technicians. Now this corporate Mitra is a little bit bigger form of that, but a more organized form. CAT is only accounting, basically, basic accounting. But this corporate Mitra, when we will be developing our modules, we will be then looking into the specific. I will strongly suggest, sir, that this corporate Mitra should have also one module, particularly about the areas where what type of developments can happen, sir. Like if you see Mirzapur, sir, some corporate manufacturing is there. Like in this Mizoram and other areas, sir, basically, what type of activities are happening there, so that then corporate Mitra himself is aware that what type of nuances he is going to be there. And I'm really grateful, sir, for this discussion, what is happening today. And it's, of course, a brainstorming. So I think, I'm sure many things will come up. And my colleagues have already mentioned that the institutes are on board, sir, and there is nothing on.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anandji. In fact, the nitty-gritties and other, course contents, what should be the modules, whether local area, issues should be included, whether OJT, on-the-job training, will include local, ecosystem. This, I think, will come in our discussion.
Right.
And the modules, in any case, are yet to be developed. So I'm sure the professional institutions which are being involved now in this, and the ISCA, are more than competent enough to, in fact, to think of these things and prepare a suitable module which can really work very helpful for the corporate Mitras. So value addition, of course, is very important. That
Can
you
I
said.
give some data?
Yeah,
on value
yeah.
addition?
I'll just come to that. Value addition by corporate Mitra, that the point that you made.
Yes, sir.
Now that is, see, besides the documentation, completion of compliances, or filing of issues,
Accessibility to funds, etc.
accessibility, and all these work which is done. If he can really contribute in terms of some value for scaling up of the business, for innovations, or for improving. I mean, this is maybe asking too much, but there is no harm in giving a thought to this, isn't it? Because ultimately, ultimately, he is also a useful resource.
Part of that.
And if he can also, he or she can add value to the business enterprise, because ultimately it's a micro enterprise.
Now, why only, I just.
Please.
बहुत सारे जो लोग रिटायर हो गए सर, मैं बोल रही हूँ आपको वहां से भी बहुत फोर्स मिलेगा कॉर्पोरेट मित्रा के।
बिल्कुल।
अगर वो ग्रेजुएट है और कोई प्रोफेशनल स्ट्रीम में नहीं है, तो वो बिल्कुल
एज लिमिट कोई होनी नहीं चाहिए उसमें। नो एज लिमिट।
65 साल के बाद
देयर शुड बी नो एज लिमिट।
सबसे बड़ा फायदा ये होगा
बता देंगे आपको।
देयर विल बी एक्सपीरियंस पीपल।
हाँ, एग्जैक्टली।
आई थिंक इट्स अ वंडरफुल पॉइंट व्हिच हैज कम।
ये सॉरी, तो ये आपको बहुत इसका मुनाफा मिलेगा। हर आदमी जब 60 के बाद देश को कंट्रीब्यूट करना चाहता है। ये जो हम लोग लेकर आ रहे हैं सर, इसमें देश सेवा की भावना बहुत अधिक होगी। आपको मैं बोल रही हूँ, हम लोग जब घर में भी बैठते हैं तो पापा लोग बोलते हैं कहीं मुझे भी देश की सर्विस में यूज करो भाई। तो ये कॉर्पोरेट मित्रा उनके लिए बहुत साकार।
बहुत बढ़िया
हेल्थ में इम्प्रूव करोगे।
हाँ, बिल्कुल सही है।
जब वो घर में बैठे रहते हैं तो खून लग जाता है। अगर उनको इस तरह का जॉब मिलेगा।
सिंह साहब के पास आते हैं। I think we will go structurally one by one. Then we can have open discussion at a later.
So what Anandji has said, we have not discussed earlier. Gross value addition. I have a data from 17, 18 up to 2022, 23. We are in a cycle from 29% to 30%. Many of the developed countries, this ratio is very high. What Honorable Prime Minister was saying, in a different way, competitiveness and efficiency. The gross value addition, corporate Mitra will play an important role. How? First, he will free, mostly we have 99% micro. Right now, they are struggling with the regulatory filing. They don't know. It's a failure. They don't have big deep pockets to engage the professionals, and professionals are far away. What you have said, affordability. So they can get the compliances at 1/3 and 50% cost. So this is going to add gross value, and what we have discussed, making a proposal also, financing also, and sustainability of the enterprise will be ensured if there are person as a professional advising you, making your financial proposal, taking care of your. So now what will happen? The micro enterprises, they will focus more on the business rather than unknown area which is not known to him. He is struggling and making mistakes and getting
And
penalties.
he is not competent also in that area.
And the concept paper what ministry has circulated, they have said also 2019 and 20 for small companies filing was around 74%, 90 to 20 finance year. 23 to 24, it has gone down to 5%. So this will also help to get them compliant. Once you are a compliant, you are managing your risk, you will get a better financing also.
Perfectly. Thank you, Mr. Singh. Coming next to Shri DP Goyal ji, who himself runs an industry, who better than him can understand really what are the pain points, what are the expectations of the industry. And since he runs a small, medium, micro, small, medium enterprise, I don't know whether it is small or medium or micro, but I think it's small, medium now. So think of the micro first. It's better. Yeah.
They are
So,
representing
over to you as to what do you expect that micro, corporate Mitra should really do, and how they should be trained, and what contribution they can make for the industry.
Thank you, Kumar sir, for giving me this opportunity. मेरा सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन ये है कि जब भी हम कंप्लायंसेस की बात करते हैं तो वी ऑलवेज टॉक अबाउट दी पेनल्टीज कि ये कंप्लायंस नहीं है तो ये पेनल्टी है, ये नहीं किया तो ये पेनल्टी है. तो इंडस्ट्रीज के ऊपर जो दिमाग के ऊपर जोर आता है वो हमेशा एक डरा हुआ सा, घबराया हुआ सा काम करता है. He is never with an open mind. Has the government ever thought of giving an incentive to the people who are complying with all the regulations or different regulations? मान लीजिए मैंने सेल्स टैक्स में अपने रिटर्न फाइल किया 1986 से नाउ इट इज 2026, तो 14 और 26 42 साल. 42 साल में नॉट ए सिंगल डिफॉल्ट इन द सेल्स टैक्स, नॉट ए सिंगल डिफॉल्ट इन द इनकम टैक्स, नॉट ए सिंगल डिफॉल्ट इन द एक्साइज, not a single default in the PF, not a single default in ESI. Now, if I am complying with all the regulations right from 1986 onwards, when I was a micro and today I am a medium, so I don't want an incentive by terms of money, but some kind of a recognition by these departments to the industries that this industry has been working for the last 5 years with no default in the PF system. So we recognize this industry. Now this.
Can I intervene here?
Please.
Well, sir.
Please.
In fact, this reminds me a letter which I received. Maybe many others have received. Our friends also would have received. Many of you from the income tax department that we acknowledge your disciplined way of filing the income tax return regularly for the last 25 years or so.
Exactly.
We congratulate you for this.
Exactly. This is what exactly I want. If the industry gets a certificate like this, he displays. He feels very proud of it, that I am complying with the government regulations. So, without being under pressure, he does it with pleasure. So, I think government may think about it.
Point well taken.
Yeah. Second point is, sir, जैसे आपने बताया आपका corporate mitra. Excellent idea. Undoubtedly, this is going to help the micro and even the small industries. Because compliance की जैसे बात चल रही है तो everybody knows कि compliances नहीं होते क्योंकि पता नहीं होता है हमको कहाँ से वो ऑपरेट करेंगे. Suppose I get a certificate. Now, how and from where do I operate? If I get a job somewhere, then I am for that company only. I will not work for others. But if I'm starting my own venture as an entrepreneur, then where from do I work? From my house, or do I take a commercial place or something? And दूसरी बात आपने कही थी कि डोर स्टेप सर्विस, वेरी गुड आइडिया, अनडाउटेडली. but that will cost money. If I go to one industry or second industry or third industry, what about the conveyance? What about the time? And I cannot do it all by myself. I have to employ 1 or 2 or 3 people more. So then I generate employment. But what is the cost of generating that employment? Now, Honorable Prime Minister, in association with the Principal Scientific Advisor to Government of India, they had mooted an idea that let us promote the industries in the rural areas. Let us connect our villages to the latest technology available in the world. By sitting in the town, I cannot pass on that technology to the tier 2 or tier 3 towns or to the villages. So essentially, they designed an idea called RSVC, Ruteg Smart Village Center. Ruteg is Rural Technology Action Group for Entrepreneurship. So first develop the entrepreneurs in the village itself by connecting them to the latest technology. And after that, this program of our corporate Mitra will play the part. So initially हमको जब industries को promote करना है, तो उसके लिए जो RSV center है, आज की तारीख में हमारे देश में 65 RSV centers हैं. And my center was among the very first ones which we started in district Sonipat at village Mandora. Our center's name has come on the Economic Survey of India in this budget on page number 525. And the activities that we are doing, about 12 activities we have taken up simultaneously for the promotion of technology to the villages and for developing the entrepreneurship in the villages. The aim is why a villager should sell a raw product. अगर उसने गेहूं प्रोड्यूस किया तो गेहूं क्यों बेच रहा है? Why can't he convert that wheat into the sellable other eatable products like दलिया बनाए, like roasted दलिया बनाए, तो उसकी जो yield है, he'll get double the revenue. If he starts making a biscuit in the village itself, he gets a homemade biscuit. गेहूं वहाँ पे है, दूध वहाँ पे है, दही वहाँ पे है, घी वहाँ पे है और खांड वहाँ पे है. इन सब चीजों से बनके बनता है बिस्किट. Now, if that small industry is set up there in that area, so that means the villager को एक opportunity मिलती है अपनी product को convert करने का और convert करने के साथ उसका value addition का. इसके लिए we had invited Mr. V.K. Sharma, the managing director of IRCTC in PSD chamber, and I had a word with him. I said, sir, when you are serving tea in the trains, you serve 2 biscuits of Britannia, right? Instead, if I give you the villages, the biscuits homemade from my village, he said, please tell me how much quantity can you supply me per day? सबसे बड़ा तो अगर हर विलेज के अंदर हम इस तरह की इंडस्ट्रीज लगा पाए,
एग्रीगेटर वाली बात है ना सर, इकट्ठा करके उनसे वहां से करके
इकट्ठा इंडिविजुअल नहीं कर सकते. NSI से डॉक्टर कुमार हैड हेल्प मी. 20 लाख की कोई मशीनरी आती जिससे कि आप इसको बिस्किट का एक प्लांट बना सकते हैं. छोटी भी आती है, बड़ी भी आती है, तो डिपेंडिंग ऑन हाउ मेनी पीपल कैन गेट टुगेदर ऑन दैट. वी हैड कॉन्टेक्टेड निफ्ट. अभी जो हमने RSV सेंटर खोला, मैं थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन कर दूं इसके बारे में. हमारे इसमें MSME डायरेक्टर के लोग आते हैं, IARI पूसा से लोग आते हैं, NDRI करनाल से लोग आते हैं. निफ्टन वाले तो दिस इज ए फूड इंडस्ट्री बाय गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, तो निफ्टन वाले तो हर महीने 2 महीने में ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम करते हैं. वहाँ अपने स्टूडेंट्स को ला करके विलेजेस में डेवलप करा के बात करके हमारे सेंटर के अंदर उनकी ट्रेनिंग करते हैं. एंड वी हैव पीपल फ्रॉम KVIC, दे हैव कम टू अस. तो KVK कृषि विज्ञान केंद्र, हिसार एग्रीकल्चर यूनिवर्सिटी. So all these people, you know, when you get a central place to operate from, so this will help for development of the villages overall. And मैं समझता हूँ जो आपका corporate मित्र जो है, he can find such a place because this is one place where technology is available, where the customer is available, और उस customer की क्या requirements है, हाँ, तो integration जो है that could be very perfect in that area. So अभी हम we are connected with IIT Kanpur, IIT Chennai, IIT Delhi. IIT Kanpur has given us some consortia. After 4 years of research, they had developed a consortia which, if mixed with the cow dung, fly ash, jaggery, and besan in a particular quantity, within 8 days you get almost 2 tons of organic urea, and which is roughly 2/3 the cost of the chemical urea that we are using in the field. Now, this is technology from IIT Kanpur which has been transferred to the village. The plant is working, and this gives you pure organic product. Means technology को इतना अच्छा हमारे पास साधन है इसको यूज करने का, और गांव के लोग बहुत हैप्पीली इसको यूज कर रहे हैं.
नहीं, बहुत बढ़िया मॉडल है. इनफैक्ट आई हैव सीन द मॉडल. सो यू मीन टू से गोयल साहब कि कॉर्पोरेट मित्रास
हाँ जी.
कैन बी वेरी यूजफुल.
Yes.
In, as I understand that in the scheme also, it is basically primarily to focus on tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So tier 2, tier 3 cities will include these centers also, wherever they are available or they are.
ये tier 4 में लगाइए इसको, villages का तो आजकल
extension है,
extension
tier 3 का extension है.
इसका extension.
There is no
but
bar.
this can find नहीं, no bar. This will find a beautiful place to operate, and इसका जो आपका outcome है ना, this will be many times more.
No, well taken. I think since geographical limitations are not to be specified, I mean, I don't think that we are going to specify any geographical limitations.
Yes.
Where are they going to work?
Nice.
Naturally, they will find
Convenient
their place.
Convenient
Find
place.
their place, and whether it is tier 2, tier 3, or tier 4, or whatever, RSBC or rural areas. Naturally, what we need is engagement and support to the MSMEs, both ways. It is basically one side employment, providing employment creation opportunities. On the other side, MSME is basically getting the support service.
They will themselves
I'll come
create
back to
the.
you. Well,
They
sir,
will.
let me go to, in the interest of time, let me go to Ms. Kanchan Dushi. She is the director, PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry, looking after the micro, small, medium enterprises basically. So your thoughts about this scheme and the utility of corporate trust and how MSMEs are going to benefit.
Yes, sir. And thank you. First of all,
Yeah, Lily.
for bringing all of us together at this one platform. Thank you so much. And I think we had been deliberating on this for the past 2-3 days. We had some online meetings and also and learning about each other. This is going to be definitely a very forward-looking, scheme, I feel, because we are just talking about, I will just talk only about the micro enterprises. If we see the major financial gap, if we go to the data of the IFC, it is more than 25 lakh crore. Especially this gap is contributing, majority is among the micro enterprises. So probably the problem, because we also work at the grassroots levels in various MSME clusters all across India. And what we found that mostly micro enterprises, they are a one-man army. They are just busy in their, daily routines, compliances, finances and all. They really don't know about what are the new schemes, what are the other stakeholders in the MSME ecosystem who are there, where they can take benefit, whether it is NSIC, whether if they want to go to digitally, they want to, they want to sell their product digitally. So ONDC is there. So our interaction with these clusters, we found that definitely there is a major gap, and that kind of an hand-holding support. Suppose for an awareness drive, we go, institutions go, one day they talk about these schemes. But so what we found is that what is required, some kind of an, proper hand holding where, okay, we will tell them, you can go for, you can just register online on the GEM. But on the GEM, what they require, they feel, oh, itna documentation hai, iska kaise karenge, wo sab karke, they just leave it. So these corporate mitras, I find that this is actually going to help, because this will be a layer, as GK Singh ji also said. One is it will help the MSMEs. Number two, of course, employment generation, this is another aspect. Probably this is going to help. We see in the states, I'm just talking about not especially, some remote areas, graduates, they don't know what to do after. Prasanna ji already highlighted about this. So this way, we are actually going to build up a new force, new professionals who will really help. If you go to some remote area of Srinagar, there are so many artisans, there are so many crafts. They don't know how to sell their product on ONDC, how to market. And I feel, I completely agree with Anandji, what he said. Once we train these, of course, we are just talking about the module. So these corporate mitras, I find that they should also be apprised about the state laws. What are the state schemes? Because every state government has their promotion they are having for their IPR awareness. Of course, I'm not talking about the central government schemes, but every state also has good schemes for entrepreneurship development. They get facility for land, they get facility for innovations registering, they get facility from aggregators. The NSIC is there. So I feel that we should build these kind of professionals who will really help MSMEs, especially the micro enterprises. We talked about 99 more than percent. So because we talked about financial problem is there, limited access to finance, then compliance burden. There was a data I was just looking into. Majority of these micro enterprises, the GST filings, they are in it. So this is the major gap. Probably they need some kind of support, some kind of talking about the professionals, they cannot afford those professionals. So this layer is actually going to benefit them in the long run. And as Madam also said, in the long run, it will benefit our economy. And as a chamber, from PhD chamber, we look forward to be a part of this journey in spreading, in collaborating, not only with the central government, but with the state government. Our offices are there in different states, so that, we build professionals who actually guide the micro enterprises right at the ground level.
No, I think very well said, Kanchanji. 25 lakh crore credit gap. You know how many corporate mitras are required to fill this gap?
So we are talking about just 5,000. So I think it's a huge, yes.
Huge number.
Yes,
Potential
huge number.
that this,
Huge number, sir.
this workforce will have as to how do we, complete this, because ultimately this gap is with the micro sector. Basically, the micro sector is not able to avail this credit. See, banks are sitting on a lot of funds. It is not that the banks don't want to give. The point is, banks have certain criteria, certain eligibility norms, some assessment models, rating models. So you have to fulfill those criteria. Ultimately, banks are not going to do your work. So you need some kind of handholding, as you rightly mentioned, that this gap can be replaced.
Can I add?
Yes, on this, yes.
बैंक्स का जो टारगेट है, वो टारगेट क्या है कि मेरे को 10,000 करोड़ रुपए देना है, 1,000 करोड़ रुपए देना है. दे लुक फॉर बिगर फिश. जो माइक्रो एंड स्मॉल वाले हैं ना, उनको बैंक वाले बेंच के बाहर बिठा देते हैं. जिसको 50,000 रुपए लोन चाहिए, 1,00,000 रुपए लोन चाहिए, उसको वो एंटरटेन नॉर्मली नहीं करते. जो बड़ा आदमी आता है, जिसको 5 करोड़ 10 करोड़ रुपए चाहिए, उसको चाय कॉफी पिलाएंगे, बिस्किट के साथ पिलाएंगे, क्योंकि उनका टारगेट उसको पूरा होता है. तो द टारगेट शुड नॉट बी बेस्ड ऑन अमाउंट. This should be based on number of industries served. It should be quantity of the industries served, not on the amount of money distributed.
Okay. So number becomes important, what you say.
Number.
More number of beneficiaries.
Yes, should be there.
And more number of beneficiaries will only come when micro is helped. Micro and small, of course.
Yes.
And
Micro,
when
small, medium.
And when micro is able to produce those.
Yes, yes.
That is also a catch 22 situation.
So banks, I would not say that the banks are not inclined, because ultimately banks are also business enterprises. The only thing is, since they deal with the public money, they also have to ensure that whatever funding is done, it's done to the deserving people who can really pay back and scale up their business operations.
Bank is looking for compliance.
Absolutely,
Corporate
absolutely.
Mitra, because when as a banker you are lending, the risk is there. So once you are compliant, so this journey from informal to formal will help them.
So very well said. In fact, I am watching at the time also, because we have to close at 2:30. and we have spent very good time, in fact, in bringing out the major issues, the broader issues, in fact, which are concerning this development of the corporate mitras. We have
आधा मिनट आपकी बात को
हाँ, और
Compare
10 seconds.
10 seconds, okay. हमने अपने गांव में क्या किया, सरपंच को बुलाया और बैंक मैनेजर को बुलाया। जिस किसान को 25, 30, 50 हजार लोन चाहिए, उसको आधार कार्ड देखो, उसका घर की रजिस्ट्री का कागज देखो, वो मंगाया, हाथों लोन सैंक्शन ऑन द स्पॉट।
Thank you.
अगर वो बैंक में जाता है तो उसका आना जाना ये सब में बहुत टाइम लगता है। लेकिन अगर if we call the banker to our village, मंदिर में बिठाया उसको और सरपंच बैठा वो सबके सर्टिफाई कर रहा है। That certificate is enough. So
Thank you. No, thank you very much. We have two other distinguished members of the panel who have not been able to join us physically here, but they are available online. I would request first Shri Avinash Sharma, who is the director of SOCHAM. Mr. Sharma, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here, sir.
Okay, thank you. Welcome to this program. And as you would have heard, in fact, all of us, what are your initial thoughts and suggestions about this particular scheme? How will it benefit both sides, corporate mitras also as well as MSME sector? Briefly.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you to the Minister of MSME for providing SOCHM this opportunity to be a part of this session. So this corporate mitra introduced by the Honorable Finance Minister in her budget speech marks a structural shift from credit-only support to the capacity-based empowerment and compliance capability. So it will definitely reduce compliance fatigue amongst MSMEs, especially in tier 2 and tier 3 towns. And the compliance ecosystem is now coming closer to MSMEs. Like rather than MSMEs running after professional, now professional will go to them to support them. So so this scheme will provide easing compliance burden and generating livelihood and commerce graduate and semi-qualified professionals. And as a part of SOCHM, we have been advocating for industry-led scaling and entrepreneurship. And I think the corporate mitra will extend this compliance literacy along with our core vision of inclusive growth for MSME members. The main task has been assigned to the 3 professional bodies to create the module and create corporate mitras. And as a chamber, we can assure our support in reaching out to the tier 2 and tier 3 cities, to the MSMEs, and spreading awareness about these initiatives. So I think as a chamber, we can, if you need any further support from our side, we will be pleased to provide it.
No, I think thank you very much. I am very happy to have your support. And I feel that support from organizations like All India organizations like SOCHAM, PhD Chamber, CII, FICCI, who have chapters across the country will be surely helpful in implementing this particular initiative. So thank you very much for your inputs. Let me go to now Dr. Nandakumar Kalat. Dr. Nandakumar Kalat, are you there?
Yes, please.
He is the chairman of Finance Core Group, CII National MSME Council. Over to you, please.
Thank you, sir, for this great opportunity and great vision by the Finance Ministry and the Government of India of introducing this scheme of corporate mitra. There is absolutely no doubt. All the speakers have spoken quite a lot of things, and I have no doubt on that. It will certainly enhance the micro enterprises to grow into small and medium. I fully agree. And the Prime Minister also said in his speech that country as a whole need to look at manufacturing, because manufacturing enhances the employability as well as company sustainability. 28% at least should be the share of manufacturing in GDP. We are still hovering around 14%. So we need to certainly look at, no doubt on that, micro plays a major role. But when you look into micro, my take on this is micro primarily, of course, we have to look at sector-wise. Where to tier 3 micro, the issues which is mentioned or which will be covered under the corporate mitra is unique. That is same, always it can be covered compliances. There is no doubt on that. But when it comes to their professional side, most of the micros are ancillary units. When ancillary means they are ancillary to a large corporate. That corporate takes care of their professional experience required because their product sustainability or their turnover sustainability entirely comes from micro, because their micro is only serving maximum 3 or 4 large corporates. So you need to certainly be look at along with micro. Micro is also is part of the process, especially in tier 2, tier 3, small industries. Smaller is lower part of the small will be a micro, whereas the higher part of the small will be certainly a manufacturing. When I say manufacturing, product manufacturing, where country can export or any sector we can country export. So we need to certainly look at, especially in tier 2 and tier 3, apart from micro, small industry focus has to be there, because that is where most of the compliances in terms of the finance or in terms of any other compliances come, and large exposure is there. So especially tier 2, tier 3 cities or northeast, especially CI has got a specific focus on northeast area. We can certainly contribute to that. I must say that we need to look at in that area product manufacturing companies which are a small scale industries or medium scale. Medium where they have quite large potential to do on their own. But the compliance is coming apart from micro. Micro will certainly be an ancillary. Nearly 90% of the micro is an ancillary to large corporate or large company in the engineering sector. But in the other, there are some products which are manufactured in the food or other areas. But compliance certainly is a biggest, so that is being addressed. Along with that, we must address these requirements of enhancing their professional capability, because it's a one-man army, as my previous speaker said. They need to get into that human resources building, human capability building, and that's where I believe corporate Mitra has to expand certain areas of professionalism. And one area which I said I started way back in 1975 as a micro, and of course that time there was not even an MSME Act, but the bankers themselves had one person specializing in micro small, and they used to give the advice to the entrepreneur how to prepare, and that was a very good scheme which is discontinued because bankers also went in Q1, Q2, Q3 concept. We must ensure the banks, at least in the rural areas, should have an employee there who contributes to the micro sector in order to in order to build up their competency and capability and overall outlook. Then they can certainly grow into micro to small, at least within a 4 or 5 years time, and small to medium. So that's in my opinion, we should look at the corporate Mitra should also include what is already spoken. We need to areas look at how we can get the micro entrepreneur, one-man army to get into at least 4 or 5 people in the corporate sector. Otherwise, he is secluded. He does not want to divulge any information, neither to the bank nor to any other body, and satisfied. They do not want to grow. So we need to create that awareness that among the entrepreneur itself, to become much more compliance oriented, much more growth area. And I believe this corporate Mitras certainly will play a major role, and we can certainly extend from CI all the help. There are a couple of areas I would like to speak, which I would not like to take this time, because for India to become a manufacturing base, certainly we have to look into manufacturing areas where what are the critical areas facing. There are issues which is really affecting, because no entrepreneur today do not want to get into manufacturing. Because manufacturing, when I say manufacturing, a product manufacturing, there are at least 10 or 12 value chain. One value chain is sufficient enough to drag him into non-performing, and bankers declaring as a non-performing asset, etc. So which of course is in various subjects. I will take it up, or I am already taking it up through CI and other industry bodies. But I will certainly say corporate Mitra is a great step, certainly in helping the micro enterprises in small, and also small enterprises in tier 2, tier 3, especially in northeast region. Even other states, there are issues which is coming up, but state-wise there are a couple of issues which need to be addressed, because micro is certainly a state subject coming in there. So not only state, even in the district or even in the rural area, that plays a major role. So once we take this step forward, I am 100% sure we can certainly enhance their overall reachability, overall archaic to a great level. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Nandakumarji. Thank you very much. I think very useful inputs. Thank you for your support also to this corporate Mitra scheme. I am sure that CII, along with other institutions, other federations, is going to be really of great help in implementing this particular initiative. So thank you very much.
I also one more thing, sir. Along with micro, can we take startup also into this?
It's a good initiative.
That will be a great open, because there are quite a lot of startups which can be created even from Northeast. can be done.
Yeah, yeah.
So
No,
I would like to
surely,
request.
surely, we will surely take this also into account when the scheme is formalized. That see, startups are also MSMEs. Startups are in any case registered as MSMEs, so they are covered already. So, in the interest of time, since we are left with only 30 minutes, and we have other participants also who really would like to give some inputs and make some questions. So I'll request the participants individually, those who really wish to, those who have indicated, so that they can ask their questions. The only request is that it should not take more than 2 minutes for each of you, because we have to close the session by 2:30, and before that we have to have inputs, in fact, from our panel for some other issues also which are still to be done. So I'll go to one by one. Shri Naveen Sirohi, Head and Director, IICA. Please ask your question.
Yes, very good afternoon to distinguished panelists, moderators. Sir, it has been a great learning deliberation since morning. Paucity of time, I'll not go for the context and directly to the question, sir.
Yes.
Sir, when we are while designing of the course, one time is what is being planned. There is also a need for a continuous education, continuously sharpening the axe. So how this curriculum be regularly updated so that the evolving regulatory, digital compliance, and the VUCA environment we are having, things are moving so fast. How that thing can be ensured? So this is just a
Who will
question.
take this question? Yeah, please.
What Sirohiji has asked, that is very important, because whole landscape of regulatory framework, whether it's taxation, income tax, GST, uh, Companies Act, labor laws, all are changing. So this corporate Mitra, unless they are in the framework, so what we thought of initially, we'll discuss further, it has to be digital portal, and there has to be 3 professional institute. They will have the resource person, someone for corporation, someone for taxation, someone for costing, and we can have a system, IT driven system, where you can pose your question. We have in MCA 21 raising the tickets, and evening someone will interact. So yeah, so unless we use it, continuous education, hand holding, because one time training is not enough. This is very complex issue. So we have to continuously hand hold, and 3 professional institute, they are already discussing. They will onboard professionals and resource person who can work them. There are models. There are models in insurance and others. So this is taken care of. Without that, after 1 year, they will find what has been taught. It is no more relevant.
Thank you. Thank you, Singh Saab. I'll go to the next speaker, Shri Neeraj Gupta, Associate Professor. Please ask your question.
Thank you, Kumar Saab. I'm Dr. Neeraj Gupta, looking after corporate governance. So I'll not be very specific into the question, but some aspects which I would like to flag in extension to what our DG has mentioned. It's a great scheme towards creating people as employable, helping MSMEs on ease of doing business, and also to bring the unorganized sector to the organized sector, as it was part of the discussion. Just 2-3 points I would like to offer from with my limited understanding. The eligibility to become corporate Mitra has to be very well defined as to who can serve as corporate Mitra. Definitely those who have commercial understanding like BBAs and MBAs or BComs or MComs can be used. But additionally, what my suggestion is, all the candidates who appear for CA, CMA, and CS examination, they do not finally qualify it, and they are not certified as that. So those who clear one level or in the process, and finally, because over a period of time, their knowledge and learning is so strong that with some fine tuning, they will be finding it much easier to support the MSME sector. This is one thing which I would like to mention. Another quick point which I would like to mention is I could understand from this seminar and from what we have discussed internally under the leadership of our DG. It is a cross-cutting scheme having Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Ministry of MSME, Department of Commerce. But unless there is a nodal agency, as our DG was rightly mentioning, there has to be a demand and supply matchmaking through a digital mechanism, because the age is digital and technology is playing a very, very crucial role. So unless this entire thing is with a nodal agency to be decided by Government of India, definitely the journey will be more seamless and the advantages will reach on both the sides, those who want to serve as corporate mitras and those who really want to get the benefit of corporate mitras. Another point which I would like to mention is the sectoral needs to be assessed as far as the micro and small sector is like textile. Entrepreneurs may have different needs. The shoe manufacturers may have different needs. As the sir was mentioning, component manufacturers who are manufacturing small components. So accordingly, it is not just the thematic area on which the mapping requires to be done, but the sectoral requirements have to be assessed. Then another point, if we can somehow, and government has sufficient powers for that, interoperability of different regulations, like if somebody seeks a GSTN number at the same time, because they achieve 40 lakhs of turnover, they could get Udyam Aadhaar or other certifications, so that in the entire system of government mechanism, they could be recognized as MSME, because many still are not recognized or captured as a small sector operating in different areas is something which is going to be a next level milestone. Then one point I would like to mention, it needs to have a unified approach for Northeast as well as for rest of the India, and that nodal agency can take care of it. Having fragmented and segmented approach may dilute the underlying principle and the underlying philosophy of this scheme, because this scheme is supposed to evolve as a national level game changer, the word which our DG has used. So is and the last point, I'll not consume more time, like CMA, CS have some, not some, a great level of assurance, powers and credibility associated to it. So when we produce corporate mitras, some level of accountability has to be set, so that the reliance and trust element of the MSME sector on these corporate mitras could evolve. Then this will become successful. It will give powers to corporate mitras and it will give confidence to the MSME sector. So I'd like to submit the entire esteemed panel these few points. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Gupta. Thank you. I think I'll give it to Prasanna Kumar ji and Mamta ji, in case you can discuss about the eligibility issues that they. There is some more. Yeah, no, I'll come back because if. So what we can do is I can take the questions, yes, and then we will address all of us. Okay, that will be better because there are others also waiting. So I'll go to Mr. Mangesh Pandurang Kinare, who is Vice President of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Mr. Kinare?
Yeah, am I audible? Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Good afternoon. There are a couple of issues or questions. I think I can just take it forward from what earlier Neeraj ji has said regarding corporate mitra. Since the word used is a mitra, mitra means a friend, and therefore the basic aspects of MSMEs. I mean that this can be a suggestion also. Basic aspects of MSMEs that they should be registered. And so registration of entities as MSMEs and having registered, getting the benefits in that regard also should be imbibed in this training. That is one suggestion. And second is that being as Guptaji has said, that we have to have some kind of a registering entity which will monitor these functions also. So whether they will act as a sole facilitation or they will have an option to act as a consultancy. That also has to be clarified in this regard. And having done so, what can be the, because they have to be economical in that sense to the entities also. So their charging system and all will have to be regulated in that sense. So that is perhaps from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think very apt, very important question that you have raised. We will address this.
Yes, of course.
So I have noted down, in fact, both these points. I think somebody's mic is open. If you can put off the mic, please. So I have noted down, we will address these issues, in fact, when we complete the question session. So coming to next to is CS Mr. Devendra Deshpande, former president of Institute of Company Secretaries of India. Mr. Pandey?
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. It has been a very positive day since morning, and we have been listening to so many eminent speakers, including our Honorable Prime Minister, and it really added a lot of positive energy today. And going forward, I feel that this corporate Mitra is going to be a real game changer for small and micro enterprises. And definitely, we all, if we sit together and still dwell upon the entire scheme, it is going to be helpful for corporate Mitras also to be improving their standard of life. So I think it is a win-win situation for corporate Mitras also, as well as the industries also. Plus, it will be very good for the professionals, as they will have a good manpower working who are not professionals as their competitors, but also assistants for them. So it's a wonderful thought process which we are dwelling upon. And I just got few points out of the discussions which we had right now during this webinar, that we were focusing basically on accounting, finance, secretarial governance. But in addition to that, definitely we will have to have a curriculum which will include local laws, as one of the panelists specifically mentioned, as well as MSME benefit schemes which are available, PLI schemes. So all these points which are very, very important for a small entity to stand on its feet need to be known to those corporate Mitras. Those corporate Mitras should be given some weightage about the local laws. So we are talking about centralized scheme for their registration and everything, but there has to be some local touch also. That is what I believe, and I leave it to the panelists to discuss about this. And one more point which I would like to just a thought for everyone, that what is the quantum which we are looking at, because we discussed about how many MSMEs are there. So how many corporate Mitras we are looking at in a year or 5 years down the line, so that the entire mechanism can work accordingly. So if our thought process is somewhat clear to start with, then we can have a better scheme of this corporate Mitra.
No, I think it's a wonderful question.
Thank you.
In fact, I can only say that there are 8 crore almost enterprises.
Yeah, 8 crore.
8 crore enterprises, may 98% are micro. At least each one needs one corporate Mitra. So you can see the sky is the limit. I mean, if we say we only need 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, I think much, much larger number is required. So you can imagine the number, in fact, the huge number which is, in fact, looking for, we are looking forward to.
Definitely.
So that is my estimation. Of course, it is based on demand and supply. Ultimately, it will come. See, if you are getting your opportunities, if after becoming corporate Mitra, you are getting opportunities, others will also see, and they will also like to join. So over a period of time, this number will get decided automatically based on the market forces. So thank you very much. Let me come to now Shri S.K. Gupta, who is the CMA and MD of Registered Valuer Organization. Mr. Gupta, are you there?
Thank you so much, sir. It's been great learning since morning. I've been hearing all these deliberations. So in the interest of time, I will just keep myself very, very short in terms of my observations. On one side, we are talking about numbers. Of course, numbers are going to be important as to how many number of corporate Mitras we must have with a view to actually serving the MSME segment. On the other side, I would humbly suggest that we also kindly look at, will there be some kind of a screening test or entrance test to be done before a person is admitted into the corporate Mitra course, with a view to checking out and testing his aptitude for compliance and financial services work. I think that is one suggestion from my side for the panel to decide on the course curriculum and also the eligibility part. The second aspect I would like to talk about is the duration of this course, whether it's going to be 9 months or 12 months, whatever, it must also include some OJT, on the job training, as well as some kind of online virtual training with a view to preparing the corporate Mitra in a comprehensive manner so that actually he can provide meaningful support to the MSMEs. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. I think very, very apt questions that you have raised. Very important questions. Both of them are very important, and surely we are going to discuss it as a panel.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Let me come to now Dr. Garima Daj. Dadich.
Yes, sir.
Associate Professor and Head. My apologies for, maybe mispronouncing your name.
Not an issue,
Associate
sir.
Professor and Head IICA.
Ji, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. And I would just like to connect with what Dr. S.K. Gupta spoke, and since beginning, what the tone has been said by our DG and CEO, sir, that the entire objective of the program is to enhance employability and compliance readiness. And there, the OGT, the on-job training, is very, very critical, because that will actually bridge the gap between your theoretical knowledge and a real world application. So since OGT is a critical which will equip candidates with real compliance experience, I would like to emphasize and hear more about that, how this proposed training program includes these hands-on exposure to the statutory compliance platforms, because it's very critical that there should be a concept of interoperability, such as MCA 21 portal, GSTN portal, and the income tax portal. And also how we need to also emphasize that the entire curriculum, and I have actually heard all of you and the way it has been highlighted, that how the curriculum is covering the Udyam registration processes and then provide this structured OGT components. Further, since it will there be an on-job training, so will OGT include some sort of a structured evaluation criteria, and who will be actually evaluating, whether it would be a jointly certified by a host organization and a training body. So these are some of the critical things, because I believe that if we emphasize on this is I would say this is the heart of this entire training program. So how we are going to deal with these issues is what I would like to hear more on.
Good, good. Thank you very much. I think I have noted down the questions. We will go ahead with this.
Thank you.
Then I come to Mr. D. Kalita, who is Officer on Special Duty, IICA Shillong, MCA Shillong. Mr. Kalita?
Yeah, namaskar to the esteemed panel. I mean, it is such an enriching experience to hear out the thoughts, and I think many of the points have already been clarified. But I'd like to put across few two, three questions and make also 1, 2 points. Firstly, I would like the panel to deliberate upon and take it up to the government whether the aspect of exploring of CSR funding for matching of the fees for the trainees that can be brought into ambit of this scheme. And secondly, another question that I have in mind for the esteemed panelists to deliberate upon is, should there be some kind of matchmaking portal similar to what we have for employment, like Naukri.com, Monster.com, for marriage, we have Study.com, wherein the MSMEs and the corporate Mitras converge. MSMEs, there might be an MSME in Surat who might not be knowing there's a corporate Mitra certified next to his home. So wherein they connect. So these are two questions from my side. And few points also, if the panel allows me, I'd like to put across, is that if the scheme could be developed in a way so that Mitras eventually become a single point of facilitation. And for that to happen, if the Mitras skill set cannot just be limited only to compliance, but expanded into other kind of filings wherein he can assist MSME with export filings, he can assist MSME with MSME Samadhan filings, because not of these MSMEs might be constituted of 1 or 2 persons who might be a 10th pass or 12th pass, might not be that conversion. So if that he can be made that way, and also the aspect of trust, the success of this scheme relies on the aspect of trust to keep them local, so that they have this trust of the local MSMEs. If some area navigation can be segregated, if a corporate mitra from West Bengal operates within West Bengal, so that he is able to connect better, he will be understanding the nuances and dynamics of the state better, and the MSMEs from that state would trust him more in seeking out that. So, and finally, another point is that the skill set should be developed in a hub and spoke model, wherein regulatory compliances and assistance of taxation and of corporates and all that are kept at the hub, and other ancillary services. Because an MSME might be requiring a lot of other things. They might be having some judicial aspect. They might not know how to check out the court rosters and all that. So those skill sets also eventually can be added into, not in the initial stages, but later on, sir. So my questions and these points. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Kalita. Noted down. In the interest of time, I can go only one more, that is Shri Sudhakar Shukla, Course Director, IIC.
I think he cannot join.
He had mentioned that he's not well.
So thank you. I think very important questions which have been raised, in fact, by our distinguished panelists. One by one, I think if we can take up these questions. So first was the eligibility. There are two questions, in fact, on the eligibility. I will give it to Prasanna Kumar ji and Mamta ji. In fact, eligibility in terms of educational, and also somebody said that whether entrance test is also required.
So, as far as the eligibility is concerned, the way in which you wanted to mold this corporate Mitras, it should be a graduate from any discipline, BA, BSc, BBA, BCom, or any other equivalents. Number one. And the age also, like Mamta said, it can't be open-ended one. It is the one where they have to undergo the course, they have to get on-job training. There is the age restriction also should be there. It's not beyond 25. Training somebody in a different office beyond 25 is not that easy. 25 is a very big age. Training under 21, 22, 23 is very easy. Beyond is not possible. There should be a restriction. Not beyond 25, you can make it a little below that also. So this is as far as eligibility is concerned. And training, so what is the other question you want?
There was a question with regard to entrance.
Sorry, entrance examination if you have for this, the scheme, running the scheme is very difficult. So this is only a training you are giving. You are not doing anything else. It is not something, where you are going to admit them and, in a regulatory environment, you are going to train them. It should be open-ended.
There should not be entry barrier.
Yeah, entry barrier. Let them come. See, as we discussed, many speakers also discussed just now, it is not only to cater the needs of micro enterprises. That is one part of the story. That's where it started. But the bigger story is employability of a graduate. You look at that angle, that's a larger angle. So a graduate who is employable is a big thing. So between that and entrance barrier should not be there.
Would you like to add something? Before that, can I also make some addition?
Yes.
To what you said. In fact, there was a discussion sometime that we can include graduates or equivalents.
Yeah.
So graduate should be the minimum qualification.
Yes.
If there is somebody postgraduate, naturally he's a graduate.
It's already included.
So minimum should be graduate.
From recognized.
Minimum graduate or equivalent.
Or
but also to include 3-year diploma.
Sir, can I please? Minimum graduate or equivalent or higher. And there was a point made by one of the panelists that
recognized university.
the people who have gone into CA, ICWA, but have not completed. Yeah. So they have not been able to clear. They will be eligible in any case because they are graduates. I don't think there is any bar on them.
No, sir. If I can take it.
Please.
Sir, now the eligibility for joining our professional courses is +2. They did not go.
Okay.
So in that context, if they underwent the course, the 3-year article period, or 2 years article period, the entrance examination, probably they could make it. That's what you have said.
So should
That
we,
is what the meaning, sir. That need to work out.
can
There
we
is not
exclude them right now, or we can say maybe this aspect also can be looked into?
This aspect, because what he is saying, San Kumarji will agree, because if there are people who have gone through some rigor, by joining this course, they will be functional from day one. Kind of like when we set up insolvency profession, we have given exemption to the people, those who are working. So some kind of a thing
Can be considered.
Yeah, that should be.
No,
That's
it's
a
good.
good
It's
idea.
a good point.
It's a good point, sir.
Mamta ji, to add something? गोयल साहब आप कुछ कह रहे थे?
Thank you. Sorry. आप पहले बोल रहे थे आप
मैं कह रहा था कि 3 years डिप्लोमा जो होता है मैकेनिकल इलेक्ट्रिकल सिविल इंडियन ऑटोमोबाइल्स that is after 10th school. That is not a graduation course, but it is short of graduation. 4 साल का जो कोर्स होता है उसमें ग्रेजुएट इंजीनियर होता है, लेकिन डिप्लोमा वाले लोग इंडस्ट्रीज में बहुत हैं, बेशुमार. अगर उनको इंक्लूड किया जाए तो आई थिंक दैट विल.
इसमें बस एक वैसे there is no problem because when we are writing graduates in any discipline or equivalent. No, this is not equivalent.
नहीं सर
If it is less than graduate, then it will not
graduate.
Then
He is a graduate.
Then it will not come.
He is graduate, but diploma is not a graduate.
I think what we should.
एक बार स्टार्टिंग
And then we can take off a need basis.
और सर इक्विवेलेंट में भी सर आपको बहुत इश्यूज
Issues आएंगे. फिर diploma who is issuing which institution, because otherwise we are writing, we are posing graduates from a recognized
यूनिवर्सिटी जो मैंने कहा.
That is what yesterday you
Yes.
कल आपने बोला.
हाँ.
Dr. Saab, we are starting a course. The more clarity in the beginning,
Yes.
the better. We can, as we go on the road,
We keep on adding.
otherwise there will be a lot of court cases. Why I am not this? So we will start this program in some.
In fact, just to interrupt on this, intervene on this issue,
please.
I think we should have a consultation with the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, because there are some equivalents of degrees that will have to be looked into. What Mr. Goel was saying, probably that also.
Whatever is from the very beginning, clarity should be there. So we can't give equivalence as Mitras are saying as open-ended.
Open-ended.
Yes.
सर आपने मुझसे एक क्वेश्चन पूछा था तो मैं जस्ट क्विकली बिकॉज देयर इज नॉट मच टाइम हाउ विल बी अपग्रेडिंग द नॉलेज अपने जब उनको स्ट्रीम में ले आ रहे तो ये कॉन्सेप्ट था. इसमें मैं एक बार बोलना चाहूंगी कि हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट में जैसे सीपी आवर्स का कॉन्सेप्ट है कि आपको हर साल इतना घंटा का ट्रेनिंग ऑनलाइन लेना होगा. ओके सॉरी. No, brother. Thank you, brother. So I was mentioning that for continuous upgrading, can we inbuilt a concept of CP hours? We have the terminology simplified that every year you have to do that many hours of training, be it online or whatever, so as to keep your corporate Mitra certificate alive. So I think that will keep them all on the going. And second, I know it's a difficult thing that I'm saying, but nothing is difficult these days. One concept that I was having is we should try and see if this can get included in the CSR.
CSR.
Yes,
So that was
in Schedule 7. In Schedule 7, GK Singh Saab is looking at me. I'm also looking at him. That this should be at least some starting point by deliberations at least should start happening, because employment generation is a big...
CSR, the ministry will take a call. I can give you the framework. There are Schedule 7.
Yes.
In Schedule 7, vocational training is set
That's
up.
why.
Now there is another rider. It can't be part of any government skill. So we have to craft it. That we leave it
Yes.
in the recommendation, because it has to be done in a way that it is acceptable and it's a part of CSR law. So vocational training is required, but there are some other rider. It can't be deficit financing for a government scheme. So we have to see this is a bigger national call, always some kind of a understanding.
And why I say this very quickly is because, we can then give them tablets, etc. Just as election में they have those tablets and, everything is available to them. So I think this could be a very vital thing. And lastly, I was saying, sir, that suppose I am a corporate Mitras, Kumar Saab, I get a set of questions from Kanchan ma'am. She's an entrepreneur, MSME entrepreneur. I should be allowed to log in those or put in those questions in that open platform so that information asymmetry is gone. So you have the same set of issues. You can just go there and look at the answers. So gradually it will develop a pool of questions and answers.
Sahab, if you permit, quickly three, four points. No, the answers, the question they have asked.
No, I'm coming one
Yeah,
by one.
yeah.
One by one.
So today we are talking of one time.
One time.
CP hours concept will kind of.
So that is very important because if we see the US small, how do they do it? They every yearly they have some kind of 20, 30 hours.
Wait, that is what I have.
Which they keep so that there is updation which we are talking about. Updation.
That is what.
Yeah, Singh sir.
Say,
आप address कर दीजिए जो
yeah.
questions हैं.
So, Mr. Neeraj Gupta, Dr. Neeraj Gupta has asked a lead agency because this is a national project. I call it national project for transformation of the country because MSME is growth engine. So, who will manage the portal? How it will be done? So, this is again a call if you can take it. Then informative approach study we have.
Portal.
Yeah.
Where all the database of the trained people will be there.
Yeah.
And anybody can select.
Yeah. And
the local area needs also will get fulfilled. Because
and Mr. Kalita
know from which place he is.
Mr. Kalita has given a good suggestion. One. I will come. He is talking about the registry also because once they are there, matchmaking with that digital portal. Suppose I'm in X place. I'm looking for a person. I can go see his CV, what kind of a work he has done. That is also a great idea. Then uniformity of, we have discussed that this is 3 professional institutes are with Government of India. It's one course, informity will be there. Study we were discussing, we have so many regional center, anyone can launch the course and one has to go through the all. Then Mangesh Sahab has said that charging. Now this is a difficult question for charging. As of now, there is no regulation for CA, CS and cost accountant. It has to be, it is a market driven because if you go into charging, initially we were thinking, then we are going into a difficult terrain. So this is again food for thought. We have to think it because so many activities you have, the charging will be in 20, 30 pages. Each activity, that is a area like for one income tax return, someone is charging. If it's a complex, something X, and another is small is charging, it should be market driven. Devanji has said that local laws, this is a good suggestion because when we were there in Shillong, we were discussing, we find many, we interacted with many of the MSMEs, they don't know how to go for even incorporation or to start with their partnership, to go for 1% company, Section 8 companies, so they are not clear. And with that, the local laws are important. MSME benefits, already some course design is there. There is a coverage of MSME schemes. So that is there. Local touch already we have given. Number of corporate Mitra. Number of corporate Mitra is $1 million question because any kind of a scheme first has to be tested. We have to start pilot projects. We have to see the feedback. We should not create more people if there is no demand. We have to make it a relevant. So it can be stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. We have to start initially, control, and then you can scale up. We will learn a lot from the pilot phase. We can start in 3, 4 pluses to see how it is going to help them. Then we have Dr. S.K. Gupta. He has talked about the course duration, eligibility, on-job training. On-job training is very much part of that. We have said that this is a practical approach. This is not a theoretical approach. So more focus how we can do it. So on-job training, even the course, he is talking about the course has to be, if we can think of, we can start something, has to be easy, more of a, in such a way, there are many institutions have come, NGOs come, they make courses for children. So we are saying that you can do something, this course of 9 months should not be burdensome so that you are stuck with that. So the course delivery is also important, on-job training is important. Dr. Garima talked about employment, on-job training we have already covered, and compliance. compliance we are talking about, we say that India is right now in a situation to go for next level because we have established digital public infrastructure, whether it's a GST platform, whether it's a Aadhaar, MCA 21. So income tax portal, GST portal, this all will be familiarization should be part of, because these are the pain points. And she talked about OGT structured valuation and the criteria. So we have to put it part of our deliberations. OGT, it has to be structured so that 3 months is the main. This will show the absorption capacity, how much they have learned. So OGT is going to be the main thing, how to assess them. That is important. Mr. Kalita question, CSR funding, we have already included. And that is very good. Digital registry, some way supply demands, I am looking for someone. Then he has talked about a very good thing. That is again a new idea. We can start with a mandatory course. This much should be covered. Then we should gradually add on more so that someone wants to specialize in some area. Someone wants to specialize in a different sector. That Mr. Gupta has also said, sectoral approach. So that will be add on. Right now we can't think of, but this will be a good idea. We can make this corporate Mitra relevant because again, I will rephrase, corporate Mitra is part of MSME budget. This is for enterprise. So we are looking at the pain points of MSME. We are looking at their ease of doing business. We are looking at formalization. So they need also like some MSME is in manufacturing, someone is in hospitality. So these may be add-on, not right now, but the course should have that kind of a vision. Gradually it should be rolled out.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll give maybe 1 minute each again for the concluding things. Anandji, you want Kanchanji, how associations are going to be involved for implementation?
Sir, associations, chambers, they play a very important role for actually working at the grassroots level in the various clusters, because it is very important for MSMEs to know that these corporate Mitras are there. So it's very important that associations can connect with the state DICs, then MSME DFOs, because every state needs to be get involved in this so that MSMEs know about, look, these are the pool of professionals which are available so that they can take benefit, because until and unless it's not going to serve any purpose if we have a pool of resources and that knowledge dissemination is not at the grassroots level, how to take benefit from them. So from chamber point of view, so we will be working at the grassroots level to promote this, to help MSMEs know about these are the professionals who are available, and they can take hand-holding, the support from these professionals.
Thank you very much. And one important aspect which I wanted to mention is about that IBC provision of pre-packaged solutions for the MSMEs.
I think
briefly, if you can.
I think this is the most important question which we were missing it. MSME, they always have the liquidity problem. So they will have the default issue. During COVID time, Ministry of Corporate Affairs has come with this scheme. This is called pre-pack. And pre-pack is for MSME. This is a new dispensation. Whenever there is a default, company moves from corporate debtor to insolvency professional or creditor. In pre-pack, there is a provision that MSME, along with their creditor, can decide company will be with debtor only, and you can come with a new resolution plan which will be fast track. Unfortunately, awareness has not been much, so there are very few cases. This is for a stress company, so this kind of a framework we have to include this also, so that MSME, stress MSME, they are able to get the benefit of Government of India scheme. This is only dispensation given.
May I come in, sir? Nanda Kumar here.
Yeah, please, very briefly, because time is up.
In pre-pack, banks are also involved, sir. Banks are part of the pre-pack. Banks have to be a part of that.
Yes, yes. Goel sir, finally, before I conclude.
सर बैंक्स की बात जब हो रही है कि लिक्विडिटी की जो प्रॉब्लम है एमएसएमईज को, मेरा एक सजेशन है, my one suggestion. Okay, suggestion is whenever a check bounces, what we have to do is we have to go to the civil court, and to recover money from the civil court is a very hell of a tedious job. If the bank manager is given this opportunity, that to a defaulter who is a regular defaulter, he writes a mail to him that either you improve or I close your account. He has not to pay money on his behalf. But if he tells him that either behave or close the account, the defaulter can never open an account in the other bank because it's all Aadhaar connected.
Discuss this separately.
So,
Corporate मित्रा को खत्म करते हैं पहले.
okay.
Complete करते हैं मतलब खत्म नहीं. Okay. Surely. No, I think it was a wonderful discussion. I think complete clarity has come about the implementation, the formulation of the scheme, implementation. I think I'm sure that there is going to be on one side ease of doing business for MSMEs, and on the other side the employment opportunities for a lot of young people.
Yes, youth of.
So both sides are going to benefit, as somebody rightly mentioned, win-win for both sides. So it is going to be a win-win for both sides. I really thank you very much for all our distinguished panelists who are here. Thank you, Shri G.K. Singh ji. Thank you, Shri Prasanna Kumar ji. Thank you, Shri Madam Mamta Binani ji. Thank you, Anand sir. Thank you very much, M.K. Anand sir. Thank you, D.P. Goyal ji. Thank you, Kanchan Joshi ji. Thank you, Avinash Sharma ji. Thank you, Nandakumar ji. And our distinguished members of the panel who really raised so wonderful questions that we have been able to brainstorm on those things, which will help us in formalizing and finalizing the scheme. So thank you all. And finally, I would miss, in fact, if I don't thank Mitra ji, who has been the force behind this, organizing the whole event and making us assemble and create the whole environment to complete this.
True to his words, listening.
So thank you all, and we come to the close of this.
So I think on behalf of all of us here as panelists and on behalf of all the active participants and everywhere, we are very, very grateful to the chair. I think we should put our hands together to thank the chair for a wonderful facilitation of the session, because without that, we are all then lost in the crowd. So thank you so much.
I second you, madam.
We can have a picture.
You can, yes.
Like this or?
So we come to the close of this. Thank you.
Feedback, sir.
Stand here.
What is there? Feedback, sir. All the panelists.
Okay. So
For all online and offline members.
there is a need to have the feedback, for all the panelists. So if you can, all the participants, if you can give that feedback online, it's an online feedback. That will be helpful. If you really want to listen to us again, or not. Thank you.
ममता जी इन्फ्लुएंशियल के साथ गुड लीडर है.
I'll request all of you also to join us. Please come.
Nitin.
स्टेज आपकी.
ना सब लोग एक बार आ जाइए.
Nitin,
All of you are
working as a team. आइए
please. Hello.
who will take the photograph?
I think from there.
somebody show the
सब लोग
और close आ जाइए.
और close आ जाइए.
सारे आ जाओ. रिकॉर्ड हो जाएगा.
अब आया.
Now it's better.
You also join us.
I think थोड़ा सा कम कर दो सर, ये बहुत दूर हो गया.
हो जाएगा.
हो गया.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mitras sir for the great effort. Might not have
Anton Mitra for property.
two Mitras.
I thought of saying that, but then I went silent.
Two Mitras.